Tap out. Jeff ain't made the song yet. Hey, 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 hey. Oh yeah.
What's goody footy fans, and welcome to episode 13 of We Say Soccer. I'm your boy Big John. That's my boy Jibbs. And we're here to bring you another preview and prediction of this weekend's footy action around Europe and around the world. Jibbs, how you doing, my man?
Good, man. Glad Cup soccer's over for the week because that shit sucks.
Yeah.
Too up and down.
Yeah, man, and there's too many crazy lineup changes. Like today, we were just talking pre-show about Gladbach and Bayern Munich today.
Yeah.
Like, what? This is nuts. This is banana lands out there in Cup season. City losing to West Ham.
That was a good match, though. I watched the second half of that. That was actually I could see that when they match up. It was two good squads.
Yeah, I mean they beat United, so they saw it. So was that honestly. So was that Chelsea Southampton game too on Tuesday. That was a good one.
Yeah. City's move in a cup tie was taking off a $60 million defender at half to put on another $60 million defender. They had Kyle Walker only play a half. Kid can't get a break for Cancelo. It's like, okay, yeah, this is a kind of abnormal cup situation.
Yeah, and other than City, Arsenal went through. They beat Leeds. Brentford beat Stoke. Liverpool beat Preston. It was kind of sick. Origi scored a sick little flick on, kind of like a scorpion, but it was standing still. So that was kind of cool. And Leicester went through on pins as well, 2-2. But then they won 4-3. So cool. That was our little EFL matchup. You're going to miss some picks that we're going to have for our Thursday La Liga matches. So just watch out for the Twitter for that one. It'll probably won't be out before that time, so just stay tuned to the Twitter. As always, we'll put those out if we have any of those Thursday matches.
This pod definitely won't be out.
Yeah,
in fact, I don't even have them to give out recording this, so I don't even think I have any Fridays. So
no, I do like Atletico. I think on Thursday is my one.
I have that, but again, it wasn't going to be out.
-160.
So. Hey, I'm with you though. So there's a free Thursday pick if you get lucky, and somehow this is up before that match tomorrow.
Yeah. If you're Jeff and you're in our Google Drive.
Yeah, exactly. One man, one opportunity.
All right. Well, cool though. We'll get to the massacres that happened last week. There were a couple in the EPL, but first, as always, let's take a trip around Europe. Let's start in Spain with La Liga. We both have two in each league, each of those four leagues. Let's go around two. Yeah, about two. Jibbs, what do you have? This one, these are both Saturday. This is Saturday through Monday, I believe, right?
I think so. I have Saturday, and then I think the other match is Sunday. I'm doing Villarreal away at Valencia, Saturday, 12:30.
Ooh, plus 120. I like that.
I like Villarreal's form. And I think people still hear Valencia and think, where they were battling Atletico for third in the table in La Liga 5 years ago. I do think Villarreal's better. They have a kind of a winning pedigree to some degree. So I'm going that way. And then I think this is Sunday. I'm sorry. This is Monday. Rayo Vallecano plus 160.
Oh, no, I'm on a different one.
Oh, well, I'm on my boys Rayo Vallecano plus 160 hosting Celta Vigo.
Yeah, I'm on that late Monday game. I'm taking Levante minus 105 hosting Granada. Granada's coming in at plus 290. I think Levante, they might lose Per recording tomorrow to Atletico Madrid, but then I think that's going to be a good bounce back game for him against Granada on Monday and have enough rest to get through till that.
Yeah. And that's it for
all
La
the rest
Liga
of the
for me.
games, though.
There's
Yeah,
2 a
that's the thing
day
for
for the
me.
next week for them. So it's just too
and
spread
they're
out.
so there's a lot of like big spreads, like Barcelona against Alaves is a huge spread. Real Madrid against Elche is a huge spread. It's minus 220. Like all of them are big. Atletico is minus 210 against Betis. Like there's just huge spreads. There's just no point in
And
it's a little too tasty for my blood.
In all 3 of those, I can see a reason to bet opposite. Either run of form, because Real did not look good against Osasuna today.
They drew.
Yep. I actually, as soon as the City game was over, I flipped over to that to finish up my like office computer work shit. Osasuna just held it down. Yeah, they mostly parked the bus, but they have I can't remember his name. One of the more common Hispanic last names, but you know, some defender, world-class abilities. It's kind of bothering me that I can't remember. But hey, they might be some defensive stalwarts over there in the capital of Spain.
Yep.
I believe they're in Paloma.
I think so.
Yeah, pretty sure. But yeah, stuff like that. So why couldn't Real Madrid lose this weekend? Why couldn't Osasuna get a win from somebody this weekend? Why couldn't Betis beat Atletico?
Yeah,
I could see that. So
Barcelona firing Ronald Koeman today too, so that could be either does that give them a burst or does that bring the team down going into this weekend as well? So that's maybe something to look at for the upset alert.
Yeah, we'll see. I know maybe a lot of players would like his business astuteness more so maybe they will miss him on a personal level. But we'll see, because we're kind of seeing almost the opposite with some of the news coming out today with our boys in United, with like Ronnie rallying the horses and kind of backing Ollie right now. So, I don't know anything about Barcelona that much in that aspect outside of the hype stuff we see on Twitter, but I don't know. Throw a couple bucks on each of those upsets. Maybe you get one, and they probably pay for the other ones that would lose.
Yeah, plus some.
Yeah. So that's me in La Liga. It's so spread out. It's going to be just day by day. I'm not going to do any like planning out, segmenting different situations.
Parlays and stuff. Yeah, no, I feel that. Cool. Let's jump into the Bundesliga. I'll go first. I have Leverkusen minus 105 versus Wolfsburg. This is Saturday at 9:30. You can find these on ESPN Plus as well. I just think Leverkusen are one of our favorite teams to bet on. They play well, except when they play against those 2 top teams. So I think this is a good money situation, getting a little good value at minus 105. Even though they did let us down last week, though.
Yeah, and I'm staying away from that one mostly because Wolfsburg started hot for me, and then they've kind of been on a schneid. Not losses, but they lost last weekend, actually, if I remember correctly, but a couple of draws in there. So I'm going to see how they play against these guys, see if they get old Mo back on their side moving into the November part of the calendar.
Cool. What you got in
Saturday, 12:30? I am, even though we both like Eintracht Frankfurt, I am betting against them. RB Leipzig minus 120 at Eintracht. I think that's one where you're finding the value. I think if it was at RB Leipzig, it would be higher. And I know we like Eintracht, but against them this time. And then that's it for me on Saturday. I have one on Sunday.
Cool. That's all for me. And these do go Friday through Sunday.
So
what do you got on Sunday?
Stuttgart plus 135 at Augsburg. I am going with Stuttgart this time. Better with and against them a couple times this year. It seems like they don't necessarily lose. They get a lot of draws. Maybe they can steal one out, where I think they are the better team.
Yep, and being at home too, that should help them out.
I think they're away.
They're home. I just checked.
I wrote my note
unless
wrong.
That's like a later date one. No, I might be wrong. That could be one of those later dates.
All the way to Sunday.
You're right. They're in Augsburg. Yep. I was looking at November 5th.
Yeah.
When they're November 6th.
Yeah, it drops off. It's like November 5th. And I'm like, that's so far away. No, it's only a week, cuzzy.
Yep.
So
all right, cool. So that rounds out our Bundesliga look. Let's go ahead and jump to Spain. Let's go across that border. We got Friday.
We already went to Spain.
Yeah, we did go to Spain, so we're going to France. One of those borders, the Eastern Front, right? The
Yeah.
Western Front, one of them fronts. I think it's the Western Front. Paris Saint-Germain on Friday. So if you want to watch a big team play against Lille, I don't think we're betting on this one. It's too big. It's minus 340, but that is your only Friday match in Ligue 1. And then what do you got, Jay, on Saturday? Do you got anything on Saturday?
I
You
have
got
one
on
Saturday, and I
The
have
Battle
two.
of the L's.
Yeah,
What I got on Saturday.
Lyon minus 150 versus Lens.
Yep, I like that one as well. That's Saturday at 9:30. Or excuse me, Saturday at 3. Excuse me, I was looking at the wrong note. And then on Sunday, I have Rennes versus Troyes minus 105. That's Sunday at 10 a.m.
I'm not betting against them this time. They keep every time I bet against them, I'm like 1-0-3. There's like 3 draws and 1 win. I'm good on that.
Yeah,
I
what you
take
got on
2.
Sunday?
I have Monaco at Brest minus 135, and I am taking plus odds on Marseille at Clermont plus 130.
I do like that. Oui.
Yep. And I will say one thing: check the PSG lineups for this coming Friday, because they've had to be cyclical a little bit. And even when they have guys in, they're underperforming, even the superstars. Like, they went a stacked front last week and did not get a dub. And if you recall, I took a flyer on their opponent, and PSG got the red card, and that made it actually even. So it saved me, but I didn't get the win. Like, why couldn't Leo beat them Friday?
And you could take Leo plus 2 at minus 125 also isn't bad to look at.
Yeah. And then, of course, Messi would have a hat trick and Leo would get one, and we'd be losing on that spread tie situation. But no, like, Leo is the reigning champs. Maybe they got something. Maybe they've been setting up their season like, this is our barometer for how the rest of the year is going to go. It could be this match. So check PSG's lineup and take a flyer in Lille if you're feeling it. They are the champs, but kind of unexpected ones, kind of like Leicester was in the EPL a few years ago. Not that big of odds, but let's be real. They were at almost as least likely.
Yeah, no,
that's it for me in Ligue 1. But I really like Marseille getting plus 130 at Clermont.
Yeah, no, that's a really good looking pick right there. Cool. Let's move on to Italy. I have one on Saturday, and I have one on. I didn't write down the day, but I believe it's on Sunday. It is on Sunday. What you got?
I'm going Juve at Verona minus 115.
Nice.
With
I looked at that one. I did lean Juve, but
yeah, with this stretched out schedule, say that 5 times fast. I'm gonna actually be looking at a few overs around Serie A. I feel like this is that time of year where it started just going crazy last year. Like, you'd bet on a Sassuolo game. Maybe I am this Sunday. And it would be like a 4-3 dub for them, situations like that. So I'm definitely going to be looking and seeing if there's any value there. If I get like an over 2.5 or over 3.5, like under minus 150 over 2.5 in Serie A, and nice plus money on an over 3.5 on a couple of those athletic teams that can score.
Yeah, that Verona Juve is minus 144 at over 2.5. So that's not bad money.
Yeah, that's not bad. And honestly, the way Juve is giving up a goal and then having a claw back, and I feel like they're winning a ton, 2-1 and 3-1. I bet you it's probably plus money for Juve to win and both teams to score.
It is plus 240.
Bang.
And that's a 3-way bet. Don't forget. So if a draw happens, that is a loss.
Yeah. So
cool. I'm on something else on Saturday. I'm a little earlier game. I'm on Atalanta minus 110 against Lazio. They're at home. I think they're going to bounce back from the Champions League losses they had to United, or lost ahead to United. They have United coming up again, so that's something they might be looking forward to. But I think this is a good game to get them going in Serie A. I got Atalanta minus 110 against Lazio. That's Saturday 9 a.m.
I like
and
that.
Jibbs, you mentioned it.
I just kind of like. I like that pick. I just also kind of like Lazio. Like, they're a
me
good
too.
squad.
Milinkovic Savic, I like them.
Yeah, and they are they're one of the clubs that never see themselves like with a chance in any Euro competitions, no matter what they're in. So they really set it up to play Serie A football. So that's the only reason I'm not on that one. I don't think it's a bad pick, but maybe a little bit of just my fanhood of Lazio in the past. I'm staying away. But yeah, I did tease it. Sassuolo hosting Empoli -135. I really like. And then maybe it's a form thing. I don't know, but AC Milan at Roma +195. I'll take that gamble.
Yeah. I'm also on something on Sunday. I'm doing a little bit of line moving kind of action here. I'm taking Napoli at a -1 spread, so I think they're going to win by 2 or more. Against Salernitana, I'm gonna ride with that one.
Yeah.
But I do think Napoli can come through. They do seem to get a lot of goals, and like Jib said earlier, this is the season in Serie A where they do give up a lot of goals. So I'm hoping for that, just to be a lot in that light blue of Napoli instead of in the other team's colors.
Yeah, and I think Salernitana, I think is how it's pronounced. Maybe
there you go.
I think they do give up goals. I think they've gotten whacked like twice bad in the last month, like by Sassuolo or somebody like that. Or Fiorentina maybe crushed them. Just random games trying to pop in my head. So I think that's a good move as well. I really like that.
Cool. All right. Well, with that, if you have nothing else around Europe, Jibbs, you ready to jump back across the channel?
Yeah,
since we went to France like 4 times already, apparently.
Yeah.
And then we can jump into England. Match week 10 in the EPL. We saw some big matches last week, as we alluded to earlier. Some big score lines, big goals going around the grounds. Hot rhyme. But cool. Let's start it out how NBCSN will. These are Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. We're starting off on 10:30, October 30th. That is not at 10:30 in the morning. They're actually starting at 7:30. NBCSN, my Premier League morning. Leicester versus Arsenal. This is a battle between 9th and 10th in the table. They're both on 14 points. This is crazy. So it's a nice little 6-pointer here for those teams trying to get into those Champions League spots, maybe more realistically fighting for Europa League spots. Leicester coming in as the favorites, as the home team here at the King Power Stadium, +145. A draw is +240, and Arsenal are +180. Jibbs, what do you think on this one?
I know Arsenal's playing better, but I am going Leicester because of their form. I think 2 things. No matter how much they're down, I think they've been down as much as 2 goals in certain games. They are fine. They're scrappy. Like they're like when they won the league, surprisingly, they were beating good teams like 2-0, 3-1 that year. And Vardy was just going ham. And they obviously had much better players that have gone to other British teams since then. And this is a scrappy bunch that I really like. And I think they might have found something up top with Daka. So I'm curious to see if they can get any kind of fluid run with both Vardy and Daka both playing. We'll see, because this would be a game where you'd want anybody who's in form playing and playing well against Arsenal. Like you said, similar spots in the table. And Arsenal is one of the big 6 clubs that no matter where their spot is, people are going to feel like they're always chasing them, whether it's financially or on the pitch. So, I'm really curious to see it from that standpoint. And I will be taking that +145. That is a already in bet for me.
Yeah, and I do like also Leicester and both teams to score at +360. I think this is one that's going to be pretty open. It might be a little cagey at first, but I think once the first goal goes in, I think this is going to be one of those floodgate type games. So it's maybe something to look at too. You can get real good value, honestly. I think on over 2.5 goals, it's -118. And if you're feeling ballsy, +210 for over 3.5 goals too. So this is something that I do feel like there's going to be goals early in the morning, midday over there in England. So.
Yeah, and if you are going to pick Leicester, you might as well do that. Both teams to score to boost it up that much, because both teams to score and no result, just it could be a draw, it could be a win either way, is -154.
Yeah.
which is also not a bad little bet if you just want to keep it straight, keep your dollars in front of you. I do genuinely think both teams score. It's probably going to be
100%.
Vardy and Obama.
I'll take it. I need some wins in fantasy. Come on, Obama.
Might be a good single game parlay match.
Ooh. Cool. So yeah, we're both on Leicester on that one, but as we said, there should be goals in this one. So if you're not really feeling a certain team, maybe lean towards that over, whether it be 2.5 or 3.5, or even that both teams to score at -156. Cool. Next up, as always with these 10 o'clocks, we're going to go in alphabetical order of the home team. So we're going Burnley versus the Brentford Bees. This one's a Peacock 10 a.m. Both teams coming in as an even pick 'em match here, +170. The draw is +220. Jibbs, Brentford is sitting at 12th on 12 points, while Burnley's sitting at 18th on 4 points. I feel like we're both on the same page on this one. A draw might happen, but I feel like it's the Brentford Bees game to lose, even though they're going on the road at Turf Moor, which we know is a hard spot to play. Haven't checked the weather report if it's going to be raining or not over there real bad. It's England, so it's probably going to be raining.
They won on a cold, rainy day in Stoke today.
They did.
I don't even know if that match was in Stoke, but I know they were playing them.
It does. It was.
And you're talking about the weather, so I'm like, of course.
Okay, so screw it. We're definitely on Brentford then.
Yeah, and I don't know how, but Brentford and under 3.5 is +230. I know they had a couple of those crazy games where
the only thing that scares me is them going off. Like,
yeah, but
and then Ben Mee or Tarkovsky, we always say at Burnley getting one from their guys in the back. Maybe Chris Wood sneaking in a set piece.
That covers a 2-1, a 2-0, 1-0. It doesn't cover 3-1, but I don't know. I just got a feeling like
3-0
this could be that 2-1, but I'm not confident in both teams to score in this scenario.
No,
I don't know. That's a tough
Burnley
one.
Can't put the ball in the net.
Yeah, exactly.
But I do like the value at Brentford at +170. I think they're a better team.
Well, and to clue you in, the reason I like that, most football matches in the betting world to go, if you're choosing an over 1.5 scenario, you're typically looking like -550 on the low end, more like -800 all the way up to -1500s. Over 1.5, this game is only -280. And so to let you know that even Vegas doesn't think that this is a scoring session. So that's why I think Burnley and under 3.5 is good value, just increasing it a little bit more at the 230.
Yep. I am right there with you. That is something to look at because I do not think this one's going to be high scoring. I think Burnley's going to set up camp and let Brentford kind of push. So hopefully Brentford can just get something on the counter with Mbumo or Ivan Toney. Cool. Let's move on to, speaking of shellackings, Liverpool versus Brighton. Yeah.
Let's not talk about it.
Liverpool gave off a shellacking 5-0 against our boys. United, we look like a JV team out there for an American reference. And then Brighton got smacked 4-1 by City. Appreciate the Busto FanDuel. City to win in over 3.5. It looked good in the first half. I was like, I literally walked into the brewery saying, all right, let's just get 4 in the first, City. I don't ever usually say this, but let's just I was on like a little small like schneid and betting. So I was like, hey, let's just get off the bump, get 4 in the first half, call it a day. They get 3, and then they want to wait till like the 76th minute to get the 4th when it was actually a penalty for Brighton anyway. And then they had the 4th after it. So but I do appreciate it. But this one, Liverpool is -420. Nice. Draw is a +550, and Brighton coming in at +1,000. And this one's going to be one of those you need your cable subscription, or as Jibbs brings up the NBC app, because this one's on USA at 10 a.m. Jibbs, how are we thinking about betting this one? I feel like we got to keep Mo's streak alive. I feel like we got to bet Mo anytime goal scorer.
No, you win cast it. Mo and Liverpool to win -165.
Yep, like you got to.
I'm sorry, Brighton. I still love you, Brighton, but this ain't it.
I think Mo's in the sights of Vardy's I think 11 game streak or 11 match streak, excuse me, coming off a hat trick against United. So he is in the hottest form he can be in coming into this one. So that's something to look at. If you look at the lineups, maybe get a Sadio Mane at plus 120 or Diogo Jota at plus 145 on that win cast as well. Either way you pick it, I feel like you got to pick a Liverpool win in this one.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Let's see what's a Liverpool and an over. Is there one of those?
So the way you know how to look for that?
Yeah.
It's under the goals tab, and you have to scroll at S-ton to WDW and whatever.
Yeah, no, and I'm not going to scroll that much because Liverpool should win.
Liverpool and over 3.5 is plus 165, and over 2.5 is minus 155. They could, but in that
Brighton probably get a couple in there. I feel like at least one Mopai, Troussard, something like that. And Brighton is sitting at 5th right now, right out of that Champions League spot. Liverpool is 2nd, 1 point off top. And that's those Blues from Chelsea.
Yeah.
Speaking of Man City, a little bit earlier, coming off that win against Brighton, 4-1. They're taking on Patrick Vieira's Crystal Palace. You remember Vieira did coach Manchester City's farm team, so to say, in New York City FC, and he was part of the football directors there too. So this one should be a shellacking. It is on NBCSN because they want to show you a sacrifice on live TV. Man City coming in minus 700. They're going to be angry, I feel like, off of this EFL loss. A draw is plus 700 and Crystal Palace is plus 1,700. Jibbs, what you thinking on this one? Any kind of win cast you're looking at? I know Pep does change around the lineup a lot, so maybe that's something to wait till game time.
No.
What you feeling?
I'm so mad at them for dropping that game today where I had a big I'm going $2 to win 34 on Crystal Palace.
Nice.
Why not? There's some athletes.
It can happen.
They can get one themselves early, and then anything from there could happen.
This is like when Jeff said Norwich. Well, Norwich is a little bit lower in the table.
I was going to say, let's not compare Crystal Palace all the way down to Norwich. Crystal Palace hasn't been playing terrible. They're
15th. They do have 9 points.
But and they started terrible. Then they won 3 in a row, and then they've lost 1 or 2 or just 1 in a row. So
I think they got a draw and a loss. Right.
Well, I thought their 9 was from 3 straight wins for some reason.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. No, because they drew against Brentford back in the day. I think it's 3 draws.
Oh, so 3 draws, I think they had wins? A draw. Yeah. It's $2.
And City are sitting at 3rd, 2 points.
Because you can't predict City's goal scores to get a win cast. So it changes every day, every minute. It feels like there's someone else trying to score for City. If City wins, it's going to be an annoying, shitty game to watch. It'll be 2-0 or 2-1 if Crystal Palace can steal an early one, like I mentioned. It's just going to be stupid.
Cool. Speaking of another one that should be stupid, Chelsea going up to Newcastle, going to St. James's Park. This is 10 a.m. on Peacock. Newcastle are the home big dogs at plus 800. Draws plus 400. And Chelsea are coming in at minus 280. Newcastle setting second bottom on only 4 points in 19th. Chelsea top of the table, as we said, 1 above Liverpool, 2 above City at 22 points. I feel like this one should be a shellacking.
Minus 280 doesn't feel like enough. I almost feel like I have to take that off principle. Like, that's disrespectful.
That should be like 500, dude. Like, hey, man, the new owners haven't came in and bought Mbappe and Holland yet. Like, calm down, Vegas. So, this one, they just coming off the 7-0 beating of Norwich. We talked about the big points last week. Newcastle just isn't the team that they should be. I feel like they did get that 1-1 draw against Crystal Palace last week, as we just mentioned. Callum Wilson did have a banger of a goal, though, a bicicleta. But I just don't think Newcastle will have what it takes to stay up with Chelsea with our boy Allen out there as well. I just don't think they have it what it takes, even if Rom and Timo still don't play.
And that's what I'm watching. I'm going to be looking to see what's up there. And this is one of those things, both teams to score is minus 134. So they don't think Newcastle is going to score in this game.
Nope. And I think they might steal one. Oh, excuse me. Mid-yawn. We're late recording tonight, boys. And ladies. You see our demographics. But Yeah, I do think Newcastle might steal one. I'm just not confident enough to bet on that, to be honest. This is
Yeah.
probably a stay
I
away game
just
for
I
me.
just don't know how. Like I'm trying
Yeah.
to think of it like unless
I'm
it's a
thinking maybe that Allen
banger,
slips
like
away and he
yeah,
slips in like Kellen Wilson or something, or like, yeah,
yeah,
it's like a corner that falls to a midfielder that just
yeah.
bangs it. Like,
It would be like a shitty like Chelsea throw in on a sleepy like near the end of the first half situation, and they just take
yeah.
advantage. Like
And the ball
something,
bounces like oddly on Rudiger or something, so it
yeah,
bounces straight to
something that would
Wilson,
happen
who's a
to
poacher.
United all the time.
Yeah, and we give up 3 on or something.
Yeah, just
Um,
yeah, that's all there is to that one. Minus
yeah,
280 is disrespectful though. Like if I can
yeah, I
find
believe so
if
too.
I can find like 4 teams around Europe that are in that similar ilk, like we already I believe talked about the second or no, was it one of the Milans or was it the second Atletico game where they were
Second Atletico, like 280.
yeah, find like 4 of those and I think you can get up to like plus like 250 odds and just try something a little fun there.
Yep.
That could be the way to go too.
Especially if you have those sprinkles on those upsets that we were talking about too.
Yeah,
Just a fun little hedge parlay almost.
yeah. If it is
If it
chalk.
goes chalk. Hey, jinx. Next one, we had Watford versus Southampton. This is 10 a.m. on Peacock as well. Watford coming in as the home dogs at plus 210. A draw is plus 230. Southampton's plus 130. Southampton was part of the draw that I did call last week and cashed in. Thank you. So I think I'm going to go ahead, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Southampton's that team that I just see getting a bunch of draws. They drew with Chelsea this midweek in the EFL Cup. Watford can explode with goals. We saw that when we took Everton last week, and then Watford just went on a 4-goal explosion all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
Fucked up all of our parlays. Well, I did that anyway too later.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm going to take draw at that plus 230. Just a half unit, especially on these draws. I think they're good enough values where I don't really have to throw a full unit on it. I can throw that half unit and make it back a unit and a half or something like that coming back. So,
Yeah.
Jibbs, what you feeling on this one?
I think there does have a chance to be some goals. And I do think we could see like, a 1-1, a 2-2, or a 3-1 or something like that. So the two things that I'm looking at is actually Watford and over 1.5 plus 290 and draw over 1.5 plus 330. Those both, you basically, if you put $10 down, you're paying for both. And as long as Southampton doesn't win or the game doesn't go under, you're pretty much earning a unit in that scenario because it's right around plus 300 like overall. If you wanted to kick it up to 2.5, draw and 2.5 is over 2.5, so you might as well go 3.5 if you're doing draw because that would be 3. So let's do that. So Watford and over 2.5 is plus 400. And if we're saying if it's draw over 2.5, that means it's 2 and 2 or 3 or 3 or better. So that would be over 3.5 plus 1,000, which is actually the same as the 2.5. That's so weird. So there's a lot of different ways that you can look at this if you're like leaning Watford but want to take out some risk of draw, because originally I was like, okay, just throw a unit on Watford after what they did last weekend. That's a double up, but you can still earn that same unit by kind of playing around with it like that if you think it's Watford or the draw.
And that's something we always look at too when you're live betting. Something we do a lot in hockey when you see a good team go down early. Try to see if you can get that result plus a double up. We were actually talking about today, not to mush it, but if Edmonton Oilers come back against Philly, we actually both got Edmonton Oilers plus an over number that is going. It was 2-2, and it was 2-2 and over 5.5. So if we think the Oilers are going to come back, why not take more money and go ahead and take both, because they have to hit the over if they're going to come back. So that's just something. If you see a bet that you like, look for better odds that you can get from that same bet, especially if you compare it with an over and the finish of the game. Go ahead and take that because you're going to get more money, especially if it has to happen anyway. Like JB was saying, it can't be over 2.5 in the draw. You might as well go ahead and take the 3.5, even though it is the same money for on certain ways.
Yeah, I did it with the Clippers tonight. They were losing to the Cavaliers by like, what I tell you, 11 or 13.
Yeah, something like that.
I took them, and it was not great odds for that big of a gap, but the team quality plus 156. It's halfway through the third quarter now, and they're down 3. So they've clawed all the way back, and this is where takeoff happens.
So cool. That ends all of those 10 o'clock matches. Let's move on. Hopefully it can be a bounce back game for one of these teams. We have Spurs hosting Manchester United down in London, 12:30 on NBC proper. And as we always say, these are usually on Peacock as well. So that's something you can look at. Jibbs, Spurs are coming off a 1-0 defeat to West Ham. United coming off a game that we do not speak of anymore. How you feeling on this one? Do you think we can get a bounce back? United's plus 105 favorites. A draw is plus 250. And the home dogs, as there seems to be a lot today other than those super teams, is plus 190 with the Spurs.
Yes, we do work.
Yeah,
Ollie's going to manage like he's playing for his job. And even though personally, I think Champions League next week means just as much, I think we get the win here. Tottenham's not great. Even though they were,
it's Tottenham.
And even though they were showing lower or presenting lower squads because they don't care about the tournament, Dele Alli was still playing in Europa Conference League and they're getting smacked in that. Like, no. And I will be throwing a tantrum if it's otherwise. Like I will be hand over the wheel. Let's say that. If we
this is a little bit of a 6-pointer too, trying to get those Champions League spots. This is 6th versus 7th in the table. Spurs at 6, United at 7th. Spurs on 15, even with Brighton, and Man United's at 14. So this is a big one just to move up the table a little bit. Brighton, as we said, should lose to Liverpool. So that means whoever gets a win here should jump Brighton and maybe even West Ham. If they falter as well, we'll get to them in just a little bit.
And I will say, I was really surprised how much United social media was showing Rafael Varane photos today in training. So I'm like, all right, is he coming back this weekend?
Oh, hey, well, let's go. It already went up to plus 135 for United too. So,
all right.
What does Vegas know that we don't, though? Its odds are dropping, but I'll take it.
Is Ollie out? What time is it in England? No, I'm just kidding. But yeah.
Ooh, that's not a bad one either. You know, Ronaldo's usually in that minus money for the win cast. I did look at that. CR7 to score, and you heard in the rumors, JB did mention a little bit earlier. He was said to fire up the squad and try to rally the troops per se. So maybe that's something to look at. You know, Ronaldo, as we always tweet out, he is inevitable. Even in the Liverpool match, the ball was in the back of the net, but his chest was offside. He needed to stop doing bench workout so much. Maybe it had been onside. But that is something to look at plus 250. Maybe a little bit of sprinky.
And Rashford's plus 450, and he's only scored in his 2 matches back.
Yeah.
Match and a half back, I should say.
That's not bad at all. I do like that. But that is the one thing to look at too, that Rashi coming back, Ollie has subbed him out prior to the 90. So he has subbed out, I believe, at like 60 and 72 each of those matches. So it's just something to look at if you do bet on Rashford. Ronaldo does seem to get the 90 minutes. He's still fit at that 36. So something to look at, but we are hoping that is a United big time win. That's on NBC, 12:30, the last game on Saturday.
I don't even want to talk about him more. It's been like a crazy emotional week, like trying to figure out what's going on with Ollie, and it was just so depressing on Sunday. It's like, I'm good. Like,
so sorry if we didn't tweet.
Yeah,
we had shit going on. Jibbs was hosting some people over at his house for a little football Sunday. And I had to work on that day. So sorry we didn't tweet as much. You could tell, obviously, it was a dark day for us. Mo ripped us apart like we were a ATM, and he was just taking out money. So cool. Let's move on to Sunday. Speaking of the team earlier, they got beat 7-0. They're taking on a Leeds team that isn't so hot. This is 17th versus 20th. So this might be a little bore fest. You might not even have to wake up for. Jibbs, what you feeling on this one? You got Leeds plus 105, draws plus 250, and the home team Norwich at Carroll Road is going to be plus 250. Leeds are coming off of, if I can find, they drew. That's right. They drew with Wolves. Old perpetual Wolves, because I had Leeds to win that one.
I am taking Leeds at the plus 105 and a
Yeah,
combo
me too.
Leeds and under plus 195. Under 3.5.
Ooh.
Sorry, under 3.5.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't like it under 2.5, but I do like it under 3.5.
Yeah. Well, plus money is still
Leeds.
under 4.5. Like,
Oh, that
so
might be something to look at too,
at
because Leeds hasn't been
145.
scoring like they should. We do know Norwich is essentially the Swiss cheese of the Premier League.
Yeah.
They're the Kansas City Chiefs defense when it comes to giving up goals this year. So that's something scary. But as you said, you could still get plus money at the under 4.5. I feel like Rafinha should have a big game in this one, being back from those international breaks that he had right before the games last week. So it's always, I do say let's bet against Norwich. This is something maybe too. As we always say, look at that same game parlay. Maybe throw in the Rafinha score, the Bamford score, and Leads to win, and then an under or an over, whatever you're feeling. Maybe an over 1.5 or an under 3.5.
Yeah. And maybe a halftime result there too. I mean, Norwich does not start well at all.
No, not at all. And again, that's 10 a.m. on NBCSN. That's Sunday, Halloween morning.
Ooh. Scary hours.
Speaking of scary hours, you got two teams that are just loving the same costumes. They're like two girls that come dressed as a nurse. Aston Villa versus West Ham, both of them in that claret and blue. You got Villa as the home dogs again, plus 180. The draw is plus 240, and West Ham are plus 145, taking the trip up to Villa Park. This is your 12:30 NBCSN. Again, only 2 days on this Sunday. They know what it is. They know it's Halloween. You're preparing your jack-o'-lanterns, your candy bags, and your costumes and all that. And they know it's got NFL Sunday going on as well. So be ready for all the cool score bugs this day. Throughout the day, you should see some spider webs and some witch brooms and stuff like that flying around.
It's the most random of random.
Yeah, exactly. They always bring out the crazy score bugs for this, like Thanksgiving and the NFL. Jibbs, what you feeling this one? I'm kind of torn. I might actually wait till lineups come out to see what kind of lineups we're looking at.
At face value, this is position 4 versus position 13. I am on West Ham for now. But did they put too much in the match today in the cup game? Because City, while they are the deepest team, so that's why they have 60 million defenders starting in EFL Cup games. West Ham started pretty strong. They still had a squad. Like, I thought Souček was going to have 2 goals right when I got home around the 35th, 40th minute. Like, in those last 10 minutes of the first half, I thought he was going to bag a couple. So, but I do think on face value, not checking lineups, I love that West Ham line.
No, West Ham's been hot. They did work like you said in the EFL Cup against City. They also beat Tottenham last week, and they're coming off that win a couple weeks back against us in the EFL Cup as well. So they do have the squad that can get it done. Souček, Vlasic, and players like that, Ben Rama as well. They do have the squad to get it done. I am thinking I'm leaning that same way, but again, I'm going to wait till the lineups come out to make an official pick. But by all means, I am going West Ham is my lean for sure on this one. And then that rounds out the Halloween slate for the Premier League. We got the Monday evening for us over here in the States. And this one's a little bit later than normal. It is going to be at 4 o'clock instead of the 3 o'clock like the normal Monday night game. And this one is Wolves hosting Everton at Molyneux. Wolves coming off the draw last week. Everton getting beat by Watford. I believe what it was 5-2. Yep. After being up 2-1 and giving up their flurry of goals late. We know Wolves can't score like that. We've seen it. I think this one is going to be a bounce back at Everton at plus 250. It's going to be scary, and that plus 250 scares me a little bit. But it is, as we talked about earlier, 8 versus 11. Wolves are the never-ending story. They are Adama Atreyu. They are Balthazar. They are all of those motherfuckers that we talk about. And Wolves are at plus 115, and the draw is plus 220. But for me, it's Everton all the way on this one. I think they can get it done. The Toffees going on the road to Molyneux. You know we're not big Wolves fans here at this podcast, especially when it comes to the betting world. I just think Everton. I just don't know what Vegas. This seems like one of those trap games where they're saying, "Hey, come on, Come on, bet Everton.
Yeah.
Just let us get your money.
Yeah.
But this definitely too.
It's also Everton on a weird day of the week. Like they play Fridays. If they play Mondays, they seem to do something. So I am not looking to give horse in the mouth. I just hope it doesn't bite me.
Yeah. We'll see. But this does look like one of those trap betting games where it is like, why is it plus 250 for a team this like 3 spots up on them on the table? I know they're already 1 point higher than them just on goal differential, but Everton has been playing pretty decent. So maybe that Watford result scared Vegas. Maybe that showed them something. Maybe they think they're scared of yellow or something. So that could be it.
I'm really nervous how literally we were the same on, I think, every game.
Yeah.
We are either gonna be in a mansion next week or the pot is shut down come Tuesday morning. Like, because we had to pawn our computers. Like it's one of the two.
I don't know, man. That week I said on the NFL where I was like, I really like this slate, so I'm either going to do really good or really bad. I did really good. I went like 13-2. So hopefully, if I go 13-2 or however many games are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If I go 7-3, perfectly fine as long as one of those is United. I am super cool with it.
The picks that we're making. Like it's almost all high value.
Yeah.
We're not laying a bunch of juice all over the place.
No, and there is some juicing ones out there.
Yeah.
So as we always say, look at your win cast. If you're not sure on the starting lineup, especially when it comes to like City or something like that, wait until that hour before kickoff. They're going to release. All of the clubs release them on Twitter, so you can see it on their Twitter. See who's playing. Get your matchups for each game. See if you like a matchup going against someone. See if you like a right wing against a left back. If you like a center attacking mid against a center defensive mid. Just look at that. And as always, especially with all this juice going around this weekend with all these big clubs going against smaller clubs, bet responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER. If you do have a problem, remember the smartest bet is the one you can make. So don't be stupid. Don't go betting away your mortgage on Liverpool beating Brighton when they should. That's a lot of juice to give up. Don't bet 420 just to win 100.
Yeah.
But if you feel like it, go ahead. But as we say, try to find the value in the books. Yep. Look deeper, especially if you really know you're going to sit there and watch the game, live bet the game, dig deep, find bets where you can get those values. Try to beat the book and switch in the number before you can get to it. And that's just a good way to get that money.
I agree.
That's what we're all about. We're trying to get that money for you, trying to get that money for ourselves. And we're trying to enjoy some footy on the way while we get some hiccups as we're recording the pod.
Yeah, it happens.
So with that, let's go ahead and get out of here before I hiccup all up in your ears. I've been Big John. That's my boy Jibbs. We've been We Say Soccer. And as always, we love you. Follow the socials at We Say Soccer. Engage with us on Twitter. That's where you're going to find us the most. And we'll see you next week. Peace.
Richarlison Windcast is plus 700. Ooh.